Redditors who have actually won a lifetime supply of something. What was the supply you won and how long did it actually last? By user Lord Frieza8789. Garlic Crostet Potato. I won a lifetime supply of AA and AAA batteries from a major Canadian tech retailer about 20 years ago. Thing is, batteries last a long time and there really isn't that much that I use batteries for. Hypothetically, I could start a black market battery business by just getting my free batteries and selling them to people in need, but it's just not worth the time. Even getting the batteries isn't worth the time. I have to get them to type in my name in their system and there's a note by my name indicating that I get free batteries because I won a contest 20 years ago. And then they run and get their manager to look at it, because that looks suspicious. And then the manager looks at it and then asks me questions and then they finally relent and give me my free batteries. MDH579. About 13 or 15 years ago when I was in college, Arby's ran a promotion where if you input the code on your receipt to take a survey, you can get a free junior roast beef sandwich. The thing was, when you went to get your free sandwich, they had to print out a promo receipt, which had another code. It was an infinite junior roast beef sandwich glitch. I ate hundreds of junior roast beef sandwiches that year. I'd just sit in the restaurant and input surveys 4 or 5 times for lunch and dinner. It was glorious. And deadly. Mileage Addict. Back in 1977 when I was 13 years old, I won a contest for a lifetime supply of models from Revel. A semi-truck pulled up to our house in a very quiet suburban neighborhood and proceeded to unload 4 pallets of plastic models in the driveway. There were hundreds of models, probably one of everything they offered in their catalog at the time. I kept about 2 dozen, which kept me busy for a year or so. My father helped by finding a local retail hobby store to buy the rest of them at a very favorable price so we could just get rid of them. He put the money into US savings bonds for me, which I cashed out many years later to use for a down payment on my first new car. Like_2. I won free groceries for life at my local grocery store in a raffle. They give me a digital $100 gift card once a month, which is wonderful, however it doesn't even cover a week of groceries. It will end when the total given has reached $10,000. I've got about $4,000 left. Dilly Dally 85. My uncle gets free Ben & Jerry's for life. He has been friends with the actual Ben & Jerry since before they opened the first shop. He has a card that says free ice cream for life, and he can get pints or cones at any scoop shop, at least locally. He also gets decks of free pint coupons that he can use at grocery stores and gas stations. When Unilever bought them out, they tried to buy back all the free ice cream for life cards. I guess it was a fairly generous offer because my uncle is one of only a few that chose to keep the card. Screw. I took my kids to a pizza buffet place when they received a free kids meal coupon for good grades. The cashier mistakenly charged us for the meals. When the manager came out to correct the transaction, I said he could just return the coupon and not worry about it. He gave us an entire stack, about 50, of unused coupons that were attached together like a checkbook. We got free kids' meals until they obviously reached the age limit. Hazel, Kathleen. My dad won a lifetime supply of cat food, but A, they delivered it all at once, and B, our cats didn't like that flavor, of course. We donated it all to a local animal shelter who were super pleased. Teens, Beans. I once won a year's supply of Pepsi from a local radio station. The contest was finding specific serial numbers on a dollar bill and being the first to call into the station. The year's supply was a case. Just_call_me_Marsha. My grandparents were gifted a lifetime subscription to Reader's Digest as a wedding gift. They were offered that, or some other magazine that went out of business a decade later, so they made the right call. Being a frugal family, that subscription was utilized fully. After Grandma and Grandpa were done with each issue, it would be passed along to siblings and their kids with this little round-robin thing they did, sharing photos and updates of what everyone was up to, passed along in a manila envelope, and when it came back to you, you remove your items and put new ones in. They had been together for 62 years when Grandpa died, but Artie honored the subscription an extra decade until Grandma passed. I forgot how much was paid for it, but I'm certain the gifter got their money's worth. Trustworthy enough. Lifetime supply of M&M candies. They sent 52 bags all at once. King Oblak. I won a lifetime of free oil changes for my car. It was during a sale the dealership was having where you had to take a photo with your pet and the person who most resembled their pet won. I don't know if I should feel happy or concerned about that one. What they did fail to mention is that it was lifetime oil changes for the vehicle I had, and I couldn't transfer it to anyone else. So, when my dad took over my car loan, they dropped that little tidbit of info on us. Only really lasted me for about 2 oil changes. Robert Lindrum. My parents won a lifetime supply of toiletries. Soap, toilet tissue, and some other stuff. Once per quarter, you mail in the coupon, and they send you another quarter's worth of stuff. It's all institutional grade. Like what you'd expect prisoners to use. Riley Rulsu. I won the Cash for Life $1,000 a week lottery about 10 years ago. Every year I send them proof I'm still alive, and they send me a check for $52,000 in the mail. Imriti promotion. When I bought my bicycle, the shop policy was that any new bike purchased included free tune-ups for life. Personally, I thought this was a great business move because it got me back in the store regularly to redeem my tune-ups, kept my bike running smoothly, which kept me as an active cyclist. Active cyclist equals active customer, and I also would regularly buy parts/service beyond the tune-up when I was there. Which I was happy to do since I had a good relationship with the shop through this free tune-up deal. When the shop changed owners, they discontinued the tune-ups, even for people like me who had purchased their bike under these terms. I don't go there anymore. Grumpy, oik. Ryanair, a European budget airline, awarded its millionth passenger free flights for life. After 9 years, they reneged on the deal, so she took them to court. The judge awarded her €60,000 to buy her own flights. Her legal costs were more than 3 times that, but Ryanair had to pay those as well. Given the relatively low cost of Ryanair flights, €60,000 probably buys her at least 6 flights a year for the next 50 years. Orwell was right 101. As a consolation prize for losing on a TV game show, I was given a popcorn popper, a little girl's bicycle, and a lifetime supply of Dinty Moore beef stew. I gave the popcorn popper as a Christmas present and sold the bicycle. When the beef stew arrived, it was 1 case of 12 cans. After trying the first can, I realized that the other 11 would indeed last me a lifetime. Pilot for Hire 70. This happened in the late 90s. A local bar ran a wet t-shirt contest where the girl who won would win a lifetime of free bar drinks at the bar. They also had cash prizes for 2nd and 3rd place. I don't remember how much, but it was a lot at the time. The result was a packed bar, tons of girls entered, and tons of guys spent money. My friend's girlfriend at the time, now his wife, won 1st place. She was stoked. He was excited. Within a couple of weeks, the building was condemned and torn down. Turns out the owners of the bar knew that the building was going to be condemned and just wanted to have one last party. Shy Blonde 83. When I was a kid 30 years ago, my dad said he'd won free pizza coupons, I think it was Domino's. And he had a massive stack of these little business cards, each for a free large pizza. My dad said we had to be careful using them, though, so we would only use them occasionally, and I remember my dad sometimes making me order the pizza and answer the door to get the free pizza, even though I was only like 9. Looking back, my dad worked for a commercial printing company and was not exactly an upstanding citizen. I'm pretty sure he didn't win those cards. Watabi. When I was a kid, I won a lifetime supply of meat from a large butcher shop in my hometown. My dad put my name in one day, and a few weeks later we get a call telling us we won a custom barbecue pit and a monthly supply of meat and supplies for life. We got the pit a few days later, and every month we'd get a foam ice chest of various beef cuts, sausages, and steaks, a couple dozen sodas, a bag of charcoal, lighter fluid, and a bag of whatever veggies they had around or something. We were really poor at the time, so this was exactly something that could help the family out in enormous ways. My dad would have a barbecue every weekend, sometimes several times a week. I remember sometime afterwards realizing that I hadn't felt hunger in days or even weeks, and that was so unusual for me. For years we continued to get the monthly supply. There was even one point where the amount of meat and sodas we got doubled. We were having a hard time keeping up, but that's a good problem to have. I remember near the time I was going to high school we got notified that the butcher shop got bought out by a larger national chain and the parent company just wanted to cut us a check to end it all. We gladly accepted. The check was for like $10,000 or something like that. By that time, my parents had gone to school and got their degrees and got better paying jobs, so the free supply of food was just bonus. Looking back, that one helped us out a lot when we were poor. I can imagine the savings my parents gained from not having to buy as much food, which was scarce as it was. We became happier and a little fatter as well. Top Dream 562. I won free full body massages for life, which basically just translates to 2 massages a week. It was really good. I got addicted. I knew everyone who worked there, and I got to experiment with all of them to see which were the best. Ended up fluctuating between 3 different staff towards the end. They would even train new staff on me for free because I spent so much time over there. Those training massages never cost me anything either or counted towards my 2 free massage a week limit. When the place closed down, I realized just how expensive massages were. I haven't had one in ages, and I miss it so bad. C_Ganache 620. My stepdad won a lifetime supply of WD-40 in the 1990s. They sent him 4 16 ounces cans. He died in 2019, my mom still has 2 cans.